Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. It's Christina from Our Wood Home. Today I'm going to be taking you along as I make some pumpkin muffin bread. This recipe is quite simple and it's one that I've been developing for a little while now. I actually had a muffin recipe from a vintage cookbook that I really liked to use, and I would make it a fair bit, but muffins always stick in my muffin pans, so I didn't like really making it that often. I do it, but I didn't like it. Then I decided to see if I can play with the proportions and make it into a loaf instead of individual muffins. This worked really well, and now this is my preferred method instead of making actual muffins. I make muffins sometimes, but the bread is just easier, it's less messy, and it's less stressful. I really like this recipe because it's quite simple and you can do a lot of different add-ins to make it more interesting and seasonal. So I'm making pumpkin muffin bread today using some homemade pumpkin butter. I'll link in the description of this video my recipe for making pumpkin butter, but you can just use pumpkin pie filling or pumpkin puree from the grocery store. I'll also post this recipe in the comments so that you can get the exact quantities, but I'll read it out to you as well. So you're going to mix 2 cups of flour, 1/4 cup of sugar, 1 teaspoon of baking soda in a large bowl, and then you're going to mix all the wet ingredients together in a smaller bowl. That's going to be 1 beaten egg, 1/4 cup of olive oil, and 1/2 cup of pumpkin, as well as 1/2 cup of milk. I like to use a whisk for this because it's just easier, but you can use a stand mixer if you want. It really doesn't matter. After that, you are going to gently mix the wet ingredients into the dry ingredients. You don't want it over-mixed, you just want it to be nicely incorporated without dry clumps of flour. If you're using just pumpkin puree from a can, you can add some pumpkin pie spice or some cinnamon to this. I'm not going to be doing that because my pumpkin butter already has those things in it. Once this is all mixed together, you can go ahead and put that into a loaf pan. I'm using my cast iron pan and I've lightly greased it. You can also use parchment paper if you don't want to grease your pan. This is going to bake in a 400-degree Fahrenheit oven for 20 to 25 minutes. I use the convection setting on my oven because it's more efficient and it cooks better for me. So if you are not using a convection oven, you may need to bake your muffin bread for a little bit longer. A general rule of thumb is to use a toothpick or a cake tester, insert it into the tallest part of your loaf, and if it comes out dry or with just a few moist crumbs, then it's ready. And if it comes out wet, then it is not ready and needs to bake for a little bit more. I actually forgot that I was going to add some extra pumpkin pie spice because I love it. This is, again, totally optional. I just really like this mix and try to use it in pretty much every sweet treat. This clip shows what the muffin bread looks like if it's not quite done. I use a metal skewer to poke into the thickest part of the loaf, and if it's coming out sticky and wet, then I'm going to go ahead and bake that for another 5 to 10 minutes. I'll show you what it looks like when it comes out not quite done. You can see it's quite sticky. So I put that in again and check it in a few more minutes, and then it came out perfectly. As you can see from this video, it's a pretty quick process to make this bread. I shot it in real time, and it ends up making a really nice seasonal treat. I'll be showing a video making this with cranberry as well. It's a really versatile recipe, as I said, and it's great to pack in lunches or to have as a snack. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you give this recipe a try. If you do, please let me know in the comments. And if you like what you see here, I hope that you consider subscribing. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.